My wife humiliated me at our own dinner party with a joke about his size. I smiled, poured whiskey, and told her the truth I had hidden for 3 years. Her perfect ex was. She ran to vomit, and I realized our marriage died the moment she made that joke. The crystal stemware clinked against the mahogany table with a sound that should have been elegant, but instead felt like a warning bell nobody else could hear. I watched the condensation beat on my water glass, counting the droplets as they raced downward while my business partner Greg droned on about quarterly projections and market penetration strategies. His wife Linda laughed at something Allison said, and I forced myself to tune back into the conversation, plastering on the smile I had perfected over 8 years of marriage and countless dinner parties just like this one. Denver sprawled below us through the floor-to-ceiling windows of our penthouse, a glittering carpet of lights that made us feel like kings surveying their kingdom. The whole place was designed to impress without screaming wealth. All natural materials and clean lines. The kind of tasteful minimalism that cost more than most people's houses. Allison had insisted on hiring that decorator from Aspen, the one who did the governor's vacation home. I had written the check without blinking because that was what you did when you wanted to keep your wife happy. When you wanted to prove you were enough. The irony was not lost on me now. Allison was on her third glass of Bordeaux, and I could see the telltale flush creeping up her neck. The way her gestures became just a fraction too expansive, her laugh a decel too loud. Greg's wife, Linda, was talking about their recent trip to Vail. Something about helicopter skiing and the rush of dropping down virgin powder between peaks that looked like they could swallow you whole. "Oh God, mountains," Allison said, and something in her tone made my jaw tighten imperceptibly. Aiden absolutely lived for that kind of thing. My ex Aiden Brooks, he was all about extreme everything. Rock climbing, backcountry skiing, base jumping once in Moab. Everything with him was always so. She paused and I could feel it coming like watching a car crash in slow motion. Big, massive, really. And I am not just talking about his ambitions if you catch my drift. She winked at Linda and the temperature in the room dropped 20 degrees in an instant. Greg suddenly became fascinated with his napkin. Linda's smile froze on her face like a mask that had been dipped in liquid nitrogen. I could hear the sound of my own heartbeat in my ears. That steady thump 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 that reminded me I was still breathing even though everything inside me had gone cold and still and dangerously quiet. I set down my wineglass with deliberate precision, the base meeting the table with a sharp crack that seemed to echo in the sudden silence. 4 pairs of eyes swiveled toward me. I did not blink. I did not move. I simply looked at my wife with the kind of calm that comes before the storm. The kind of stillness that predators have right before they strike. Allison's smile faltered. The wine-induced bravado drained from her face as she registered what she had just done, what line she had just crossed in front of witnesses in our home, at our table. Her hand trembled slightly as she reached for her glass,